Breaking news. Nigerians are now supporting the white people for Cape independence. Yes, you think I'm joking? This is not a joke. It's not just Nigeria alone that is supporting these white South Africans for them to have their Cape Town or whatever is Cape, whatever town they call it, Cape independence. So there is a part of South Africa that wants to cut off. It's mainly white people. They don't want black people there. They want to now become a country of their own inside South Africa. This is very funny, right? Because we all know that South Africa is one country, and this is an African country where some white people came and invaded the country, and the white people are now pushing for Cape independence. That means they want to now push the blacks to one side so that they can now create their own country inside the country. The movement is getting louder and louder and louder. Before, we used to think it was a joke, but now we are seeing many advocates, some British nationals, some citizens, some people coming now to say that no, this must be a reality. Cape Coast must have independence in South Africa. So, are you surprised? I am not surprised. Nobody should be surprised, because in South Africa, we already have places like Orania where only white people live there. They don't want black people there. Black people are not allowed to have jobs there. Black people are not allowed to stay or work there. Everything there is white. You understand? Those places already exist. But this is not Orania. This is Cape Coast. They want to have their own country. So I don't know now if Orania will have their own country, Cape Coast will have their own country, or I don't know if Orania and Cape Coast will join together and form their own country. Basically, I don't know. But what is interesting in this video, what I want to talk to you about, is the fact that Nigerians and some Africans, many other Africans, they are now abandoning South Africans, the blacks. They are now saying that, okay, it's about time we change our allegiance, because we have in the past showed allegiance to the black South Africans. We have stood by them, supported them, provided our assistance, give them everything we could give them. But how did they treat us back? Like, what did we receive from all of that? And so because of all of those things, people are now changing their mindset. They're now like, okay, instead of supporting these black South Africans as the mumu rich, somebody said, you cannot straighten a fish that is already bent, a dry fish that is already bent. So basically describing that black South Africans, they are like dry fish where they don't bend. You cannot straighten them. You cannot help them, get them in shape. You cannot put them back on the right track. So no need. It's just the best thing you have to do is abandon the dry fish. Just abandon them and move to supporting the white people in South Africa who are currently, first of all, they dominate the economy. They own everything in the country. And now they are going beyond just owning the country. They have now decided that, okay, it's better we create our own country inside this country. You understand? So that is what is trending now online. That is the news coming from South Africa, and everybody is trying to talk about it. But I decided that I'm going to bring you guys the full update on this information. You get the point now. So guys, let's just go a little deeper so that you will understand what exactly Nigerians and all these Africans want from South Africa. So basically, you know, Nigerians in South Africa, they are not welcomed. Zimbabweans in South Africa are not welcomed. Ghanaians in South Africa are not welcome. So basically, blacks, Africans in South Africa are not welcome. But Chinese are welcomed in South Africa. Indians are welcomed. Visa free. Indians can go there. And French citizens are welcomed in South Africa. They can even have the right to become Miss South Africa. You understand? British citizens, all these white countries, they are so welcomed in South Africa. But we, the blacks, are not welcome. But for the South Africa to have independence like they did, Nigeria is the one that donated billions and billions of money. Ghana donated. Africans donated. Africans took in South Africans to come and stay in their places. And South Africans today are looking down on these Africans, especially the blacks. They are looking down on every African, and they're acting like they don't care. They don't see that Africa supported them. They don't see that Africa helped them. So that's why Nigeria has decided to take away their support from the blacks and say, okay, let's support the whites, because maybe now, at least in Nigeria went to Orania, And in Nigeria lived there as a black. The only black that went there and lived was a Nigerian. So Nigerians are now like, okay, maybe these white South Africans can instead be more beneficial to Africa in that country than the black. So let us support these white South Africans so that they can go have their own independence in that country. Maybe they can be nice to Africans, because in general, so far, we don't see white people creating any issues with Nigerians and African immigrants in that country. It's only the blacks that are jumping up and down saying, the blacks must go, the Nigerians must go, the Zimbabweans must go, all these immigrants must go. And that's why everybody is wondering. So at the end of the day, what exactly is going to happen? What is going to be the result of these Cape Coast people? Let me tell you guys, it's not a joke. The movement is massive. Cape Coast have their own festivals which they celebrate every year, and even in the celebration of the festival, you could see the kind of images they show. They show images of how they use black people, you understand, in South Africa. How they change them, how they, carry them, drag them, make them work forced labor. That's all about their celebration. You can see from the pictures, you can do your own research and see. We are not making these stories up. These are realities, these are daily things that are happening in South Africa. The Cape Coast is going further and telling South Africans that we want our own independence. My question now is, why do you want independence when you already run the country? Why? Why do you people, white of South Africa, want independence? You own the country already. The country is yours. Why do you now want independence? It means that now you don't even want these blacks to have the small opportunity you're giving them. I can imagine that if Cape Coast or white people in South Africa have a country of their own in that country, that means black people, with those black South Africans, as they murmurish, they will never be granted visa to enter that country. So I know black South Africans will be like, oh, this is none of your business. South Africa is a rainbow nation. I don't see white people coming out to talk about South Africa as a rainbow nation. Why must it be the blacks that are talking about the country as a rainbow nation? Why? That's not the case. So everybody is wondering, how is this going to end? Where are we going with this? But you have to know that South Africans, you're on your own, because Nigerians and others have their full support to the white people of Cape Coast to gain their independence and leave these black South Africans on their own. Do you like that? Is that how you want it to be? I guess it's up to you guys to decide and start treating Africans better. It is what it is. Your boy Ajim Maxi on this one again. Come back anytime you're free, guys, because there's always more beautiful and amazing videos just for you. God bless you all. Cheers.